We cut the line. This woman goes, "What do you think you're doing?" I go, "Hey, your breath smells. Here's my boarding pass. We have to get to this flight." They're like, "Okay, go ahead." All right, so back from Argentina.
We missed you, by the way. I have to tell you.
I missed you guys too. I was telling the girls that I was really, really excited to get back and just sit at my desk and watch a bunch of television that I didn't want to watch and write, mildly funny things about it.
And then talk about it into the late hours of a weeknight.
Yes, because I'm a narcissist. But anyways.
And I'm just glad you're back because Nick's been doing a lot. None of the cameras are on. Heavy lifting with...
Are you on the Bill Maher Show podcast?
Oh, man, we're out of pause.
Super quick judgment on how high I am. Not even that high, but I'm saying because you were out of town and it was Dylan and I, and then you went a week out of town, and it was just Pat and I, and my back is tired. So next week,
Boom.
I am gonna miss a day.
A day or a week?
A week, which will be one day of recording because of how I've scheduled my vacation.
I appreciate that, Nick.
To fly to Minneapolis, meet my grandma there, fly her to Denver, spend 2 days with her sister who has Alzheimer's, fly back to Minneapolis, drop off my grandma, and then back to LA.
Yeah.
So, I'm gallivanting around, missing shows.
Yeah, that's very magnanimous of you. You're a selfless human being. You're
I'm
an
actually
altruist at the end of the day.
I'm actually incredibly excited. Me and my grandma traveling together and having a beer in the airport. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah,
love
that
that.
sounds really fun. And the grandma with the Alzheimer's is probably going to step up the sexual assault a little bit. We'll have a fun story for the show.
Oh, yeah.
She grabbed my dick.
That's
Nick's-
my grandmother. Wrong grandmother.
No.
Same thing happened. She pitched my butt.
Touched his butt.
You
Hey,
best
can't you
believe
just-
I'm going to be wearing something
He does
tight.
not listen to you.
Nick, can't you just tell that grandmother with Alzheimer's, like just a week after, just go, don't go there. Just tell her you went there,
I would definitely be down for...
That's
I
so
really
fucked
got to
up.
turn on these cameras. I would be down for a plan like that. But
She'll never know.
my grandma is the one that really wants to see her with her last moment. And it's not my grandma. It's my great aunt, which is my grandma's sister. And it's one of my grandma's last living relatives / friends.
See you later. So anyways, for the video, can we just have the audio rolling and you just have like a, not a static image because it would be moving, but maybe of like a lava lamp? We'll just have a lava lamp.
Hey, Nick, one thing I was going to say about your grandma, she's quite a bit older than me, I think. I'm going back.
Why do you think that?
Oh, she's got a grandma in front of her
Got
name,
it.
And I'm going back for my 30th high school reunion in Massachusetts in August. And I told my wife, I said, I think this is the last time I'll see some of these people alive.
Oh, yeah. You've had many high school compadres that have
They're dead.
rolled sevens. Yeah.
They're dead. But I don't plan on going back to Massachusetts after this. This is my last year going back
I don't
to
know when
Massachusetts.
I'm going to be okay with going to a high school reunion. I think the answer is never. But I've been propositioned so many times like, hey, it's the 10-year. Like, do you want to?
No.
No. I have less than zero interest in doing that. Everyone from high school who I want to speak to, I speak to. So I got you guys gifts from Argentina.
Oh!
I want to go to mine, see what Ugly Girls Got Hot. I think that's a pretty fascinating
So
glow-up,
I
we
got
call it.
you guys some gifts from Argentina. I'm going to go get them right now. And I know that, Pat, you're on a diet, but I think you look great.
Thanks.
And I think we should really quickly do a little segment called What's the Deal?
I'll have one of whatever you're going to give me.
Oh, you're going to have one.
Yeah.
It's fattening?
You're committing to one?
I'm looking at it. I think it's behind us.
Okay, you're committing to one right now.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, dude. If my fucking mouth burns or something like that, I'm going to be pissed.
Pat, I didn't put any cum and there is no spice anywhere in these, okay?
Okay.
I'll be back in a moment.
All right, I'll kill it. Hey, Nick, definitely go back to your high school reunion.
Did you just say I'll kill it?
Yeah, I'll kill it.
He thinks I'm too high to function.
Me?
No, you're clearly not. I think he just burped out, I'm going to kill it.
Yeah.
Man,
It was subconscious. He said, "I'm going to kill it."
It was supposed to be inner monologue.
Word vomit. Word vomit.
I'm going to kill it.
Okay. Sorry.
Someone actually sent a great meme to Dylan and I don't want to id off. I don't want to cut you off yet. I really want to.
No, that's okay.
But someone sent a great meme to Dylan and I on Twitter. Somehow they didn't include @Pat12378940.
My account's not working anymore on Twitter.
We got to get that figured out because you were changing television. But some guy sent like a meme and it was like me telling you, "Oh, I killed my segment so hard when you were gone," and then you going, "What'd you do besides the MMA fighter who raped someone?" And then I was just like, because that was really my only segment, and
Right.
it was
good though.
It was a very funny meme. I thought, we had a good time with it. It was a great meme.
I didn't see the meme.
Was the person attacking you?
It was a funny joke. Me and this guy have had some back and forth. He tweeted at you though. You should check it out.
I should check it out. All right. So,
but he had a thing. He was gonna kill it.
No, he doesn't need to kill it anymore because the gift's here.
But he still wanted to save the.
Well, I was gonna say, Nick, go back to your 20th high school reunion. You're gonna love it. Really do it. It'll probably be the last time you see those people ever again. You have all the memories of being a first grader to a senior, and yeah, go to your 20th.
And are you saying you're not going to go back to Massachusetts? What about your mother?
My mom, she's moving to North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason I go back there and to see my friends. Mm-hmm.
Does she know where in North Carolina? I'm sorry, this is.
They go to her and Jimmy Dell. They go down because they hate the cold. They go down there now. They go down there for like 2.5 months, and then they fell in love with a little beachside town.
All right. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit?
That was fascinating.
No, it was not. It was antithetical to fascinating.
All right, you want me to eat this thing?
Yeah. Okay. So
all right,
I
what
brought
is
you
it?
guys back.
Hold on. Dylan, tell me what's in this thing.
I'm about to tell you, Patrick. Let me kill this.
Hold on. Tell me about this. Hold on. Tell me more.
So, Argentines have a true passion and a true love for a sweet condiment called dulce de leche.
Oh.
Now, these are called alfajores. They're traditional Argentine desserts.
Horse?
What you have before you is they're not Havanettes because the Havanettes are branded by Havana, but it's kind of in the similar fashion of a Havanette. It's a type of alfajore, I think. It's a little cookie with a dollop of dulce de leche on top, covered in chocolate. Pat,
I said cookie.
What?
Nick, take a bite out of it first, will you?
Oh, it looks absolutely delicious. It's crazy. This is quite. Oh, is this some type of trick? Because it seems like this might be the best thing we've ever had.
You can't trust
on
him.
What's the Deal. And I also am now seeing a big future, like, because everybody's always trying to get like more ornate, like artisan type everything.
Yeah.
Argentinian candies. Oh, This is gonna pop. Oh my god, it's like hitting the jackpot when you pull out of a thing of chocolate.
Sure.
Seriously.
Oh, right.
Like-
It's like Forrest Gump, but you pick the best one.
No coconut in this one.
Right,
That,
exactly.
that always
Brazilian nuts.
That ruins my time.
Why don't you finish the rest of it?
I believe so far it's just a pretty delicious hard outer coating with a
Dulce
almost
de
like
leche.
caramel
Yeah.
type fluff.
Okay, maybe eating on the mic wasn't the best
Oh,
segment idea from Dill.
Oh, and then we got nougat on the bottom. Is that caramel on top of nougat? This is
little
like a
cookie.
Milky Way.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
a
like
little cookie.
This is a
Artisan Milky Way.
what do you call that though? A cone. This is a cone shaped Milky Way.
Pat, why don't you go ahead and try it?
I'm going to wait to see what's happening to him.
What do you think he's going to
I don't know.
combust?
Is your throat itchy?
No, I'm just indulging.
Okay.
Pat, I think you're safe.
Yeah, you're safe, man.
This honestly might be.
Now, why would you want us to try this out on air?
pretty anticlimactic. What's the deal?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, I thought it was.
Is there some type of weird animal that I'm eating?
I honestly thought it would be funny to see Pat, who eats a tortilla, low-fat beans, and a can of soup a day, eat a gargantuan amount of caramel, and I thought you would stick it in your mouth in one bite. But yeah, it's not a good segment. It's just.
Hey, you want to hear about why my mom moved to North Carolina?
Actually, Pat.
All right, so we got back
What
from our.
city? You said a beach town.
I don't know. I'll ask her next
How
time I talk to
delicious
him.
is that?
It's all right.
I'm actually disappointed in myself that I did not. I really enjoyed this piece of chocolate.
Right, that was so crazy. It's good. You savored it. Wow, what a whiff. All right, so got back from Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was delightful.
You're welcome. You guys have 5 more each. So
I could never.
Arrived on Monday, had an incredible vacation. Loved the city. What to go over?
Well, let's hear all your complaints. That's what the audience loves. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself, going to a foreign land, experiencing all the tastes and the views and all the architecture. But I'm sure you have something to complain about.
So I want to couch this by saying I'm incredibly grateful to you guys, to my in-laws, to the universe for putting me in a position where we could afford a trip like this. It was a magnificent vacation. I had
The listeners.
The listeners. Yeah, without you guys, how could I have done it, you know?
That's the spending money.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah.
But what I learned from my vacation to Argentina is that it's a good idea for everyone in the world to not go anywhere.
Right.
Do not travel to places. Do not leave your home or your city. It's just, I don't want to say it's not worth it, because I'm so happy that I went to a new country, experienced a beautiful new culture. But it's like when your pet dies, you've had 15 years of beauty, but the thing that sticks in your mind the most is the tragedy of the end. Right. You know what I mean?
And you're like, I'm never going to have a dog again. That hurt me so much.
Exactly. So when you have a lovely vacation and then you arrive at an airline and sassy flight attendants almost spit in your face for 8 hours, it kind of, it colors it a little bit.
You still wearing a mask on the plane? Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, still wearing a mask on the plane.
I would not like that.
All right, so I don't have to couch it. Vacation was wonderful, but the funny part is the Schadenfreude. So,
and just I find a ton of hilarity in your don't go anywhere, like PSA. And,
don't go places.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go places. Don't go places.
Do not go to places.
And then fine print, stay home. I will, however, say I'm a vehement dissenter of the whole movement, because I think you're playing into the Great Reset's hands.
Right.
You got to go out there and do things.
No,
people.
of course you
Live.
need to live.
Yeah, but you don't need to get on a plane for 15 hours to go somewhere. Just go out to a park or something.
Find something to do. If you live in Buffalo, I'm sorry.
Take up Tai Chi.
I agree with that. Yes.
Yes. I'm not saying
outside.
I'm not saying don't do anything and plug into the meta and waste away. I'm just saying don't go anywhere. Sorry, places. Yeah. So, 9/11 happened. What, 21 years ago.
Rip Ryan's dad, Chef Ryan, Below Deck Down Under.
9/11 happened 21 years ago. I think we've been flying commercially, since the 40s or 50s?
70 years.
So we've had one incident of some kooky guys getting paid by Dick Cheney to fly some planes into buildings, right? Mm-hmm. And because of that, traveling has changed immensely. I understand the Patriot Act and spying on us and, saying, we got to keep you guys safe. We have to violate your rights and make a ton of money on it.
Now it's called Alexa. But yeah.
I completely understand that part of it. But I can't help but being in the line at TSA thinking, what are we doing? It's not that it is inconvenient or that it takes a long time. It's that it is unbelievably nonsensical. I go through in Burbank. I get pulled out for a random screen. The guy's touching the inside of my thigh. He's getting close to my balls. And I'm just like, what are you doing this for? What are you going to find on me? And why can't I bring a regular sized bottle of shampoo? Mm-hmm. What? Why? I'm not Ethan Hunt. I don't have magical gum that'll blow the wings off this plane. What are we fucking doing here?
And I went through the last flight I was on, put my bag through, I had my laptop and some hard drives, put that through. They checked through it. They rip everything out. I had a had a bomb on my chest. I walked through. They didn't even check the bomb, and they're like, "What's this laptop?" I was like, "What are you guys doing?"
Right.
Also, Jules, metal plate in her head, gets an extra pat down every single time. It's like, see the plate.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So it's unbelievably stupid, but that's where it begins, and you're already like, yep, this is why you shouldn't go to places. Mm-hmm. So we get to the flight of JetBlue. It is, of course, delayed for, or it's not JetBlue, it's Burbank. We're flying American Airlines, which I thought had to be the worst ranked airline in the world, but it is not. It is ranked 5th in the United States, which gives you an indication of how terrible these companies are run.
Forgive me, Dylan. Is it just you and Cecilia, or is it some sisters going along? Paint us a picture of why
my
we're going there.
sister-in-law was
Like
already
the gay
there.
rapist from Shawshank?
But my sister-in-law was already in Argentina. My in-laws had arrived there even before my sister-in-law. So me and Cease are flying solo out to Argentina.
I had a couple questions.
Connecting flight in Dallas, Fort Worth, one of the biggest airports I've ever, it's massive.
I slept there one night. It was the coldest night of my life. I went on the tram, and I was using a coat to cover me, and I just rode around DFW for hours because it was warmer than the.
Are you kidding?
I'm not. I missed a flight, connecting flight from Miami to MSP. Slept in Dallas Airport, coldest night of my life.
Okay. Holy shit!
It just came back to me. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah,
night.
I mean, my God, was that a visceral recollection of all that trauma?
But you're not a TSA pre-check guy.
So I was gonna
I
was gonna arrive at this at the end of whatever this is, but no, it's fine. I can do it here. I told my wife we're not going anywhere until we have clear. Mm-hmm. We have to have clear. I need someone to look at my eyes and say, "Go through, Mr. Wren." Like I need something like that. Oh,
you're a Minority Report.
Right,
shit.
exactly. People are going to go, "Oh, you're a fancy boy. You spend all this money on stuff." I'm not going to be treated like cattle anymore. It's not going to happen. And here's the problem.
Oh, no.
You're treated like cattle to the tune. I can't speak. I'm so angry. You pay $3,500 to be treated like this. So it's not like, hey, we pulled your number. This is conscription. You're going to suffer through this experience. Mm-hmm. You pay thousands of dollars for this kind of treatment.
Dylan, you're turning the corner.
Don't call me a Republican.
No, old.
Oh,
okay.
You're getting old. When you're 19 and someone says Vegas trip,
right?
You get on that fucking plane. You don't care if there's a 2-hour layover or whatever.
Yeah.
It's new to you. It's fun. You're ready. Now you start getting irritated at things because you realize you've lived life, and it's like, I dropped $3,500. Why are you talking to me like I'm an asshole?
Right.
But you are right now. We don't know each other, but I'm a paying customer, and this is a business called service.
Right.
And you're not serving me. You're treating me like an asshole.
There's
more and more of that.
There is a sassy gay flight attendant, and this is one of the least horrible things that happened.
A Commedia del Air Travel.
Yes, exactly. He was an old man, a lot of Botox, handsome.
Oh, old. Didn't fit my...
Oh, not old. He's probably in his 60s. So people are asking him for drinks, and someone's like behind me goes, "Can I have a Sprite?" What? A Sprite? What? I mean, like, why are you so... There was this old bag of bones that was yelling at everybody for having their bags outside of under the seat.
It's horrible.
It's just, they're fucking horrible.
You know what it is, Dylan? Let me jump in here. Maybe right now you mentioned reset earlier. Maybe don't travel.
The Great Reset, Klaus Schwab,
now.
World Economic Forum.
You wrote a book on it.
Don't travel now. Because people are still in the fog of whatever the hell we went through the last 2 years. I've noticed this. You and I went to Vegas almost a year ago. You and I got in a fight for no reason.
Yeah, well, very good reason. You were being a bitch, but
because I was mad because I got off a flight where a bunch of people were mean to me.
Yeah.
And then I show up at a hotel where they tell me I might get a room in 5 hours.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Tensions are high.
And then you had to...
Because you're being treated like cattle.
But I will say, if you get clear, which I have, that's based off apathy and an emergency, which I'll explain later.
Yeah.
But you're still treated like cattle. You're just a prize stud.
No, here's the thing, though.
The
The other thing is we need clear or global entry. TSA PreCheck won't cut it. And I'm not getting on another plane in coach for the foreseeable future because I like what you said about don't travel now. These businesses are completely incompetent. So this is privatizing gains, socializing losses. These morons couldn't balance their books. They were in so much debt that when the pandemic came, they had to get bailed out. They get bailed out. They say, we're not going to fire anybody. A year comes, they fire everybody once they've gotten the money. And now we're just in a constant perpetual state of canceled flights, employees that are overworked, airplanes that are understaffed, and airports that are understaffed and just do not work. Wait till I get to Miami International and customs. I mean,
we're at the layover right now.
Fucking God.
You haven't even left the United States yet.
We have not left the United States.
I love that our podcast, just like your trip, is a journey we're going on together. This is wonderful. I do not have to talk about John Oliver, but I'll put a pin in it. I was going to say,
The sound of Pat scratching his beard makes this silence so much more dense.
It actually even made me not get to my train of thought.
Right.
Oh, don't you put that on my scratching in my beard. You
Just
do this all the time.
A half second longer, though, I will say, it added to it. But no, the privatization of gains and the socialization of losses.
Yes.
Never heard the term.
Yeah.
Love the term.
Right.
That's the problem with crony capitalism.
Yes.
People always want to talk a shit about capitalism. That's not what's doing it.
Yes.
It's impossible to stop, and I don't know what the other option is.
You start assassinating people. That's really it.
Other people just fill into power.
Now you let them fail, and then someone else will crop up to provide the services that we want in an appropriate
Jesus
manner.
is coming back to Israel in 2025. The entire thing will get sorted out.
Bad actors are always going to be at the top, even so then they leave, but then another bad actor will fill in. But it's
Let's not get crushed by the existential weight of fixing our government.
There's no fixing it. That's the problem. You just have to be a good person and gain as much power as you can and stay altruistic.
That's
it's
true.
almost impossible.
It's almost impossible.
Dylan, you need to fly private is where you need to get to.
We need absolutely.
And why I have clear. I was in a panic. I arrived to LAX 5 minutes before takeoff, and I'm just
boarding is long done.
yeah, and so I'm walking around, and there's a gay black gentleman tapping people on the shoulder, and they're like, "Would you like to skip the line?" And I was like, "I like to skip the line."
Right.
He was a salesman for Clear.
Yeah.
He walked me through, started my free trial. He said, "Cancel this in a month, or you get charged." I got charged, but I walked on that plane and I made it. Like literally, sat down, we take off. That's how flying should be.
That is how flying should be. People are like, you got to get an Amex. I was telling a friend, he's like, you should get an Amex card or something like that. You can get in these lounges. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty nice. Here's the problem though. I don't want to be in the lounge. I don't care about the lounge. I like my house better than the lounge. I don't want to be at an airport 3 hours early to check out the free tea and coffee. It's watered down and I don't like tea.
And I don't have to wait 20 minutes for my one free drink that I get.
So let's get to drinks in a second, but oh my God! All right, so we can. The other thing is I can't fly without a business class seat because if you are 6'2", you cannot sit comfortably in a coach seat. It's just impossible. Try doing it for 10 hours. Your knees will feel like they're going to explode. Hey, Pat.
I did it flying from China back to, I think it was, the hub was Atlanta, Georgia. Imagine that. That was 20 hours.
Right.
In coach.
I have a terrible fear, an irrational, excuse me, particle pollen dust, something like that. I have an irrational fear of being kidnapped. Maybe not kidnapped, but there are many hypotheticals that I play out, but I just don't want to be in stress positions. I often think like you have to be in this position for 20 hours or your wife dies or you're somebody.
Oh yeah, that's obsessive compulsive disorder.
I obsess over these scary hypotheticals, and they always have to do with stress positions, and it really creeps me out. It's a common tactic of Chinese torture. Just stand in that position for 5 hours. Doesn't seem that bad now, but it'll start to be unbearable.
there's some punishment that and I can't remember what it is, but like Asian families will do, and they have to like hold something up, and a candle starts to melt something or something.
Horrifying things.
It's
like that.
torture. They torture their children.
Yeah. That's why they're all so tough. So anyways.
Stress positions.
Are we in Miami yet?
No. So
I heard the comedian Theo Vaughn once say how uncomfortable a long, skinny porch makes him. Like a porch where you're on like a rocking chair and your knee hits the railings.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I freak out. Can't extend it. It's the same thing. It's a stress position.
It's a stress position. So the flight is an hour late, and I'm not going to go through every single flight. Just two. The flight is delayed an hour. They say there's no more room in the overhead. We're going to have to check your bags. This has happened to me 3 times. The second time I got on, they had to take Cece's bag. I told Cece, rip that fucking tag off the second we get into the hallway. She said, I don't want to do that. We get on the plane. It is abundant amounts of space. They're just lying to people. So this time they say it. I go up to the gate. I'm like, I'm not checking my bag. And they're like, well, you have to check your bag. And I said, but here's the thing, though. I'm not going to do that, right? And she said, all right, well, then if you're not going to do that, you need to speak to the gate attendant.
Did you try just taking it, like walking on with it?
No, because they were stopping everyone in the group. And I go up to her and I go, listen, I can't check the bag. We got a layover. I'm going to Argentina, okay? It's just too much. She said, yeah, no problem. Because, of course, because there's plenty of room. She knows what kind of scheme they're running. Just ask nicely, and it's fine. So the other thing that happens after the hour delay and the threats of needing to check your bag is they scan my ticket, and they go, oh, oops. We moved your seat.
Oops.
Cece, or your wife, is now 15 rows behind you. You are now in a middle seat, crammed in between two heaving Texans.
And you were next to each other?
We were next to each other. We had an aisle and a middle.
Unacceptable.
Insane. Absolutely fucking insane.
This is the flight to Argentina out of Miami?
To Dallas-Fort Worth, yeah.
To Dallas. Okay. But it's not the actual international.
No, but it was only 3-hour flight. But anyways, I asked the guy, hey, can you move? Would like to sit by my wife. And he goes, no. So what are you going to do? That's it. I'm stuck between these two. I can't do anything other than be uncomfortable for 3 straight hours. So
opposite didn't want to do it either?
No. So get to Dallas. We have 30 minutes to get to the flight. I leave my phone and my passport on the plane. I have to sprint back across the airport, get on the tram, get back. I arrive.
Not the airline or airport's fault.
No, it is not. So Argentina goes well. Lovely vacation.
Oh.
I went to a Boca Juniors game that I would love to go in depth with you guys, maybe a little bit later.
Why do you feel rushed? I mean, I'm.
Well, Pat's got stuff. I feel like he wants to go
Should we go to his and then come back to Argentina? I love.
How long have we been talking?
25 minutes.
Oh Jesus! It feels like 8 hours. Keep going, Dylan. I'm enjoying myself here. Why are you skipping over all this?
All right. So when in Argentina, we eat delicious steaks with bubbling yellow fat that is not to be cut off, but rather to be consumed with protein or even on its own. The wine is flowing. They're big wines. They're Malbecs. Not my favorite, but I started to acquire a taste for it. When in Rome.
Or Argentina.
Or Buenos Aires. I fell in love with the beverage Cinari Pomelo, which is an artichoke-derived digestif with grapefruit soda and a little bit of mint. It's absolutely delicious. They drink Fernet like it's water over there, one of my favorite alcohols. So I was in heaven. One of the major events was that me and my father-in-law were going to go to a Boca Juniors game. In Argentina, soccer is a religion. And because, like any religion, people go crazy.
It's been corrupt.
Yeah, people go crazy and start killing each other. So 10 years ago, the police in Argentina went to the government and said, hey, can you do something about this? Because every fucking weekend we are cleaning up bodies and tending to wounds and picking up glass. So please do something. So in Argentina, you cannot go to a game of football unless you are a member of the club. There are no opposition fans allowed into the stadiums. So the only way for people who do not have memberships to go is to acquire a mule. So, George and
I... animal.
No. a smuggler, I should say.
Oh, got you. Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're the cargo in
Yes.
the mule's ass.
Honestly, I usually pride myself on my use of
Context clues.
clues.
Yeah, you're bad on that one.
Whiffed.
So we had to find a smuggler to get us into the stadium.
A coyote.
A coyote, yes. So these guys buy memberships to all of these different stadiums.
Now
and
hold
then
on,
they
Dylan.
smuggle
You're white.
people in.
You're white. You got a half a dozen of these guys punching each other to get to you guys to mule you in here. Obviously.
No.
No.
No, you have to seek these people out.
Okay.
So we get on a bus, and our smuggler Matthias says, "Guys, tonight we are Vélez fans because we're going to see Boca play Vélez at Vélez's stadium." Now, these two are rivals, not quite Boca and River, but they don't like each other. So Matthias says, "Do not cheer for Boca Juniors if they score a goal. Don't groan when they get fouled. Just be a Vélez fan." And we're like, Jesus fucking Christ. He says, "If you have any lighters or weed, put them in your shoes. They never check your shoes." So I'm like, oh, this is a crazy fucking experience, right? And we walk into the stadium. Maybe I should play it's absolutely incredible, the passion that these people have for these football teams.
Full stadium, by the way.
Not a full stadium. It was a littler stadium. The economy in Argentina is ravaged, which is why I literally had millions of dollars in my bank account. You can take a taxi ride across town for $7. The most expensive meal was $200 with 4 or 5 people, 2-3 bottles of wine. That was the most expensive. Usually you can get lunch, drinks, food for 5 people for $40. And you don't have to tip, really. You tip 10%. It's fine.
And they love Americans down there.
Because they treat you well because they know you're going to spend.
No, I definitely got.
Is that why?
Well, I only experienced Peru, but when I was hanging out, there was a little girl that she's like, Americana? I was like, yeah. And you're like famous down there in a way.
Okay, so that's not how it is in Argentina because it's an old city and there's a lot of wealth there and people of European descent and they're all pretty fucking snooty. But anyways, this is how the game kicks off.
Is it safe? Is it safe in Argentina?
Yeah, it's safe.
Despite the ravaged economy, you're not going to get kidnapped for being a gringo?
No, and you're gonna, if
the
you
government's corrupt, but they don't care about tourism is a big deal.
If you go to, San Telmo markets or really crowded places, it's like anywhere. It's just like keep an eye on your shit. But no, it's very safe.
I don't need Denzel to protect me.
You do not need Denzel, but if you go to Vélez Stadium and start rooting for Boca Juniors, you might need someone to take care of you because
Like
this
Denzel.
is how the game starts off. So just tons and tons and tons of people standing up, waving their arms like this, and they just sing for 90 straight minutes. I mean, they're just singing and singing and singing.
It's like a black
Few
shirt.
questions.
Yes, it is. It is.
Is this on a weeknight or is this like a big event? Like, is this a Saturday night?
It's a Saturday night, I think. Yeah, it was a Friday or Saturday night.
That reminded me of like going to see the Dodgers on a Friday night. Like it's illuminated. It's the
Yes.
full energy is all all there.
Much more intense passion for the team than Doyer fans. But,
course.
So I'm sitting through this game. The seats are bucket seats, that like a tiny little piece of plastic. The only thing they serve in the entire stadium, no booze because of the fighting and the violence.
No booze.
No booze because of the fighting and the violence. But we did have a lot of beer and pizza before. Pizza is an entirely different thing in Argentina. They take it very, very seriously.
Well, and also there's no flour down there. Everything's corn, right? The crust is corn.
No, I think it's. Anyways, so
Do a lot of people sneak nips in their shoes? They don't check your
that's
shoes.
a great idea. We should have done that. So, anyways, I am sitting through the game. People are chain smoking cigarettes all around me. It's all outside. People are smoking weed. It's a great time. The only thing they serve are Coke and water hot dogs. Big, long, super punches. Yeah, just no, I'm not going to eat that. But
You wouldn't.
35 minutes into the first half, the section next to us erupts in curses of your mother's cunt, F word, son of a bitch. And out comes a man from the section who is shoved into the stairwell, and he starts sprinting down towards the security guards while people throw caramelized peanuts at his head. And I am like, what the fuck just happened there? And our tour guide said they found out he was a Boca fan. We were in the family-friendly section. And he said if that had happened in that section with all the smoke bombs and all the, fanfare and stuff, they would have beat the absolute fucking piss out of them.
That's out of some fucking great sitcom or comedy movie. They're like, oh, yeah, that guy got caught sneaking in. And you guys are like, oh, we snuck in. And then so you're like on your best behavior. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a day.
Wow, it was a great time. So Argentina goes well, and then we get back on a plane. Now, this is
Oh, how about the wedding?
No wedding.
Oh, it was someone's birthday.
No.
What was the purpose of this trip?
Well,
visit.
George, my father-in-law, was there to see cousins and stuff. I think there was some familial event, and his cousins are getting up in age, so it might have been the last time he was going to see some of them. But we really just, wanted to see. My father-in-law is Argentine. He was born in Buenos Aires.
I met him.
So we kind of wanted to see him in his natural habitat.
So is he Italian Argentinian?
I think so.
This is a call back to Kate Casey or
That was
something?
a question posed by Kate Casey.
Was it? Yeah.
I think she didn't take you for someone who would marry someone
Outside of the Jewish faith? What?
I don't know. She just assumed that the South American that you're dating was Italian South American.
Oh, okay. All right,
but
Kate, whatever you want to say.
I was like, did you know her name is it's like Diamato or something? I think that's right because I didn't know about the influx of Italians.
Italians, Spanish, a lot of European
Germans.
stuff. Got a fair amount of Nazis.
She didn't say it in any derogatory way.
I know
she went. Is she Italian?
So, trip goes well. We get back on the flight, and I am not exaggerating. This is the worst flight I have ever been on in my entire life.
What city out of Argentina?
Buenos Aires.
Okay.
Cost $20 to get
More
from
like
the
Mal Aires.
Yes, exactly. $20 to get from the airport to wherever you're going, $20 to get to wherever you're going to the airport. It's a 40-minute ride. It's just insanely cheap. So, we get on the flight. It's, of course, delayed. It's delayed further by someone forgetting their passport at the gate. We are 45 minutes late. We have a layover in Miami. Luckily, it's 3 hours, so we're not stressing.
You could just sign up for your
3 hours
passport
from Buenos Aires to Miami?
No, we have a 3-hour layover
okay.
in Miami. The guy leaves his passport. We are on the runway. We've left the gate, and they need to call the front gate, get somebody to put his passport on a car, drive it over to us. The whole thing's crazy.
One person.
Yeah. Also, when you get on these planes and you're in coach, you're in chattel class, the amount of poor bodies back there ratchets the heat up quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's 85 degrees on the plane when you get in there. Once you get into the cold air of 36,000 feet, then the AC starts working a little bit. You know that little nipple that goes... you know, that thing that's supposed to make you feel better, you know? It's just blowing hot air right in your face.
Dude,
when you're on the ground.
My haunches are soaked. I'm sweating. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm cramming my knees into the back of this poor woman. It's all bad. So we take off.
If you keep your knees in the same position, even if it's pressed against it, then it doesn't bother.
Right.
It's if you're jostling.
Yeah,
That's
well,
when
you have to jostle. And it's 3 o'clock in the
just
morning.
keep them pressed.
So we fly through a lightning storm. My wife is petrified of turbulence, and there is turbulence for the first 3 hours of the flight. And not just turbulence, the worst turbulence I've ever been through.
For real?
The kind of turbulence where you're shaking a little bit, and then you go, oh, and you drop 3,000 feet.
That's crazy with the drop. The drop is always crazy.
Is horrifying. My wife is next to me. She is crying her eyes out, and I'm looking at her thinking, why are you so weak? But also, I love you so much, and I'm so sorry you're going
Dylan,
through
this is when you turn her and say, this is why I don't ever want to go anywhere ever
Well, we
again.
talked about it.
Oh, okay.
We talked about it. We're not going places.
At least 2 years off?
Cece got the first draft of don't go places.
Yes, she did. She suffered the consequences. So Cece is mortified, And then the babies begin to cry. They're all around me and they're wailing, obviously, because it's a very stressful flight. And if I could just conservatively guesstimate, I would say that there were 40 babies on the
40
yeah,
babies.
probably about 40 babies.
40
it sounded
babies.
like. So they're wailing, and I look to Cece and I go, "Do you have any Xanax left? Give it to me now." Because usually I don't take Xanax on flights. I don't like the way it makes me feel. You land and you're foggy, and you cannot be foggy when you're walking through an airport. It is fucking war.
I was on ecstasy one time walking through Denver airport. Crazy. It was wild. Made the flight. It was awesome.
When I went to France, I took a Xanny. I fell asleep at LAX.
Yeah.
Woke up in France. It was wonderful.
So I take the Xanax, but the Xanax doesn't work because on this plane is someone with Tourette's or the Joker. I cite him all the time, but I can only think of the Joker when you experience what we experienced. So the flight is a red eye. It's supposed to be dark so that people can sleep. Now, every once in a while, you'll have the assholes. I have a John Grisham book to read. I'm going to turn this on right next to the air duct that goes. So the lights are off. Everybody's sleeping. And we begin a 15-minute interval period of various different lights just popping on. There are red and blue lights that pop on. Mood settings just show up. All the lights turn on. The soft ones above us. Someone is back there.
It's like a
I'm going to make these people try to punch out the windows of this plane.
It's like
To escape.
Enthusiastic dad coordinated his Christmas lights to Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So we land. The flight attendant had taken my bag because she could not close the overhead compartment, which is another thing. There's that bag's too big. No, it's not. It's a carry-on bag. It's been a carry-on bag for 10 years. What happened to these overhead compartments? But she's so small she can't close it, so she goes, "I'm going to take it up to the plane, front of the plane. I'll let you know what seat I put it over." She doesn't come back. I go, "Cece, what's going on?" She says she'll put it at the front. We leave the plane, and the woman's just standing there, and I go, "Hey, let me ask you, where's my bag?" And she goes, "Oh, that's right. It's at like 13C. There are all these people coming out of the plane, spilling down the aisles, trying to sprint to make their connections, and she just looks at me and steps back and smiles. You evil, evil, inconsiderate woman." So,
Wench.
That was big of you.
the last part of this voyage.
How long's the journey to this point? You got in a car at what time? How many hours have lapsed?
We got in a car at 9:30 at night. We left Buenos Aires at 11:30. We land in Miami at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So it's a long day of traveling and then time travel. Then you got to go to LAX. It's just
It makes you question why do this?
don't go places. Just don't do it.
Because now you're in Miami and now you got 4.5 hours. Hopefully you don't get that headwind pushing against the plane and make it 5.5.
Well, fortunately for us, we land with only an hour left. Now we sit on the taxi for 20 minutes, and now we're at 40 minutes. So now we've really got to get to our gate. Where did the 3 hours go? I have no fucking idea, but just don't go to places. So we go to customs, and there is a line that is spilling out, almost going up the elevator. Now, thank God we learned how to form lines in kindergarten. Otherwise, this would be absolute fucking anarchy. Because when you get off the elevator, you're literally running into people. So we go, "Oh, this can't be right." I get out of the line and I go into the global entry door. People are looking at me like, "What do you think you're doing?" And I go, "Just keep looking at me. I don't care what you think." I walk into a room that is filled with thousands and thousands of people. This is like a convention hall sized room. It is for customs to get into the Miami airport. I grab Cece.
You're tired, you're poor, you're hungry.
Yes. I grab Cece. I say, "We're not waiting in this. We got to go." We cut the entire line, just stand in one of the customs lines. People are pointing at us,
Whoa, you're those people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because had we not been those people, we would have missed our flight by conservatively 5.5 hours. So,
and also, people fuck up when you land in a foreign land.
No. I've been talking forever.
When we were in Beijing, my wife and I, we get off a plane from Thailand, and then we're in Beijing, and we just see a line of people that we recognize that were on our plane. So we just, as humans, like we're ants, stand behind them.
Yeah.
Waiting in line.
Right.
For an hour.
Yeah.
There was some conversation,
Maybe we should cut. Yeah.
And then the person at the front was like, "There's no one here. I think I'm in the wrong line." We had like dumb animals.
Yeah.
Like if this had been 1,000 years earlier, we would have been eaten by a tiger or
Your
something.
head
That's
would have
how
been
dumb we
ripped
were.
from its body. But here's the thing about that situation. There are people that work there, and they're watching you, and they're just going, yeah, that's not a line. And that's it. They don't voice anything. They just go, hey, those hundreds of people are standing in that thing that's not a lie.
Everyone, that's... That's not a line.
They don't do that.
The opposite. There is a pool in the back. How long will it take them to realize I'm over here?
Right. So, yeah, it's Marco Polo.
Is there no direct LAX to Buenos Aires?
There used to be.
Really?
But they haven't done it in a while. So we cut the line. This woman goes, "What do you think you're doing?" I go, "Hey, your breath smells. Here's my boarding pass. We have to get to this flight." They're like, "Okay, go ahead." So we get to customs, and I wanted to kick to you because you have Rain Man abilities to break down numbers. I would say they're conservatively, I keep doing this, but saying that word and then a number. But there are probably 2,500 to like 4,000 people in this room. I'm not even kidding. It's so big.
I'm listening.
Let's go with 2,500. There are 10 customs agents, and every interaction takes about 2 to 5 minutes. So if you're...
Let's call it 5. That's 12,500 minutes divided by 60. That's 200 and...
How long would it take me to get through this line?
Hours. I think that's literally... I think that's like a week and 3 days. If I had to ballpark it.
So we would have missed the flight by a week and 3 days.
Nick and I would have had to do like 8 episodes of Ultimatum without you.
My phone would have died. It would have been horrible.
I went 2,500 people, 5 minutes a person.
Yeah.
That's 12,500 minutes. You divide that by 60. That's 200
A month
hours.
and a half, yeah. So we get up to the customs agent, and he goes, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't like the casual nature of this human being at all.
Not with what's on the line.
Not with what's on the line. And you have so many people behind us." He goes, "Where are you guys coming from?" We
The
go,
calm nature, though, is probably helps situations.
No, it's not. Be fast, be agitated, get me through this. He goes, "Where are you guys coming from?" We say Argentina. He goes, "Oh, why were you visiting Argentina?" And we say,
Drug smuggling.
Cece says, we had family there. And he goes, "Oh, you have family in Argentina?" "Yes." "You speak Spanish?" "No." "You have family in Argentina and you don't speak Spanish?" And I said, "What are we doing here? We have to catch a flight." And Cece said, "Shut the fuck up." And he shot me a look and then quickly
You should have been like, "Okay."
did the passport thing. So we get through and make our flight, but the flight to Los Angeles was lovely. I watched Tracy Ullman on Curb Your Enthusiasm when we watched The Lost
I got a
Mother.
story about Tracy Ullman.
She's fantastic in this role. It's so funny, and we land, and we're back home. I see my cat. All is well in the universe. I just have to adjust to the pace of life once again.
You know, Dylan, you touched on this, which...
Don't go places.
Here's the thing about experiencing traveling. You shouldn't feel like you're imposing yourself on. Like, it should be an enjoyable experience. It shouldn't all just be like feel like it's an uphill battle all the way.
It shouldn't feel like you are in a stasis where the universe is telling
fighting
you
against you.
you should not
Be here. And yeah, I would never try. Sorry, Nick. Real quick. I've been a bunch of places with my wife. I didn't start traveling until I met my wife. Honestly, I want to fight my wife. I never want to go anywhere ever again. I don't want to leave. I hate traveling. I got enough pictures of being in different places.
I like traveling. I loved Argentina. I don't want to fly ever.
Anywhere. I hate it.
Ever.
It's horrible.
I agree with your premise and solution. Don't go places. That will solve all your irritations. But if you must, because you're a good husband, you're going as a courtesy essentially for your wife who has dying family in another land.
Yeah, and also a nice vacation. Yeah.
If you must traveling and this is going to be some hippy dippy bullshit and you're not going to like to hear it, but you just got to change your mindset. You're enjoying it. You're sitting in customs with the destitute. You may miss your flight and be there for 9 hours, but you just got to enjoy that time with your wife, people watch, have drinks at the bar. Understand that the journey is the destination, Dylan.
What you've just laid out is quite literally an impossibility. All right, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
That's it for our show. We'll be back next week with the segments that Pat, Nick, and I
enjoyed this, Dylan. I have more questions. I could actually ask more questions next episode, quite honestly.
I love a big trip.
You went to a racetrack. I want to talk about how you got along with family.
Yeah.
I may have more questions.
All right.
You're audibly vlogging for us. You
Audibly
went to a different
vlogging.
I've never been out of the country.
I
Dylan.
am
I'm fascinated.
Casey Neistat in audio form. I grind just as hard, and I love automatic skateboards.
And you're moving back to New York.
Yes, we're moving back to New York. Jump in the iTunes ratings reviews. Leave 5 stars. Seriously, guys, I know it. It's drying up a little bit. Leave the 5 stars. Kind words. If you're on Spotify, hit 5 stars. Join us on YouTube and join us on Patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. I'm Dylan. Saddled up. What? Saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Goodbye.